As a southpaw, one of the things you may struggle with is trying to keep your foot on the outside of your orthodox fighter's lead left foot. In today's lesson, I want to show you 2 things you can do to win the battle against your orthodox fighter with your right-handed jab. So what I have in front of me is one of my old boxing shoes. And I have it planted directly in front of me to mimic that I'm in the ring with an orthodox fighter. And you can do the same thing. There's 3 positions that your feet are going to be against an orthodox fighter. The first position is your foot's going to be directly in line with their foot. All right, so no one has the advantage here. You're at an equal advantage to get hit and not get hit when your foot's directly in front of your orthodox fighter. Now, if you take your lead foot and slightly put it on the outside of your orthodox fighter's lead left foot, you have an advantage right now because you're closer to the fighter and your rear hand, your left hand in this case, is on target to strike your orthodox fighter in the face. Now the other thing that can happen is now your foot can be on the inside of your orthodox fighter's lead left foot. And so since you're on the inside, you're closer to your orthodox fighter's rear hand, in this case his right hand. So we're just going to focus on the jab and how you can use the jab in both of these situations with your foot on the outside and with your foot on the inside. So the very first thing when you want to focus on against an orthodox fighter as a southpaw is you want to win this foot battle of keeping your foot on the outside of your orthodox fighter's lead left foot. And when your foot is on the outside, you have the advantage with your jab. So my foot is on the outside right now, slightly on the outside, and my jab can come over my orthodox fighter's left hand. I don't have to break a guard. I don't have to really put his hands down because when I am on the outside, I have the advantage on the angle and I can hit my orthodox fighter to the side of his head with my lead jab. So a simple drill you can do is you start with your foot lined up with the shoe and then step to the outside with the jab. You'll see that my jab is somewhat at an angle. It's not a straight jab because if I try and throw a punch like this against my orthodox fighter and my foot's on the outside, I'm going to hit nothing but air. So the goal here is to throw this jab, this stiff jab, at an angle so you can land on your orthodox fighter and catch them on the side of the head. But what do you do if you can't win that battle? You can't make it to the outside with your lead right foot. You have to improvise and you have to work with what's being given to you. So if your foot can't make it to the outside because you're against a more intelligent orthodox fighter, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be extremely cautious and extremely careful with what you do next. Because you can keep your foot in front and no one's going to win this foot battle. But as soon as that orthodox fighter starts putting his foot on the outside of yours, he's winning that foot battle and he's lining you up to do the exact same thing you just did to them if you had your foot on the outside. So what you're going to have to do is, as your foot is on the inside of your orthodox fighter, you're going to have to break that guard with your jab. So as you keep your hands up, you want to step into your orthodox fighter because his foot's on the outside of yours. You want to step into them with your jab like this. So you're protected right now with your jab. You turn it over completely and you're aiming to break up the guard. So even if he tries to come with a straight right hand, I've stopped him with my jab, but also I'm protected because I'm keeping my left hand here. I'm turned over here. I don't have a target for him to hit. And then I can just pop out, or if I don't want to pop out, I can angle to the side and come in with a body shot. Now, as you work on this jab, be very, very aware that you're at a disadvantage because you're coming in closer to your Orthodox fighter. So you do have the possibility of smothering them, but you have to be very aware that that right hand is going to be coming down the middle either as you throw your jab or right after you throw your jab. So you want to make sure that if you're on the inside because you can't win that foot battle, you want to make sure you stop your Orthodox fighter from shooting that right hand at you. And the way to do that is to break his guard with your jab, and it's going to have to be a very stiff jab, a very effective jab, where you're covering your head, because most likely that's what's going to come after you is a straight right hand if your Orthodox fighter has his lead left foot on the outside of you. So you're in your boxing stance, you step in, all right? Very stiff jab. I drop down a level, so I know if he's going to shoot a right hand, I have the ability now to pivot out the way, create an angle, and come with the body shot, and I can come over with the hook. I've changed angles. Yes, my head is somewhat still in line with him, but that angle that I created can throw your Orthodox fighter off, and if you're quick enough to shoot the body shot and come up top with the hook and get out the way, you've won the foot battle. So to review, you have two options when you're shooting your jab against an Orthodox fighter. Actually, I have a lot more options, but today we went over two simple options that you can do. The very first option that you have is you're in front, you step to the outside with your jab, and you come over. You don't throw your jab straight. You have to angle off with your jab because you want to crack your Orthodox fighter on the side of his head. Because if you throw it straight, you're going to hit air. Now, the second thing you want to do, if you're not winning that foot battle, you're against the opponent that is very skilled against southpaws, you're going to have to figure out a way to break his guard or stop him before he shoots that right hand down the pipe against you. And the way you do that is you step into them with your jab, stop them dead in their tracks, and you have two options to do after this. Number one, you can smother them, or you can pivot, shoot to the body, come up with a right hook, and then shoot a left hand. And that's the beauty of working both on the outside and on the inside against an Orthodox fighter as a southpaw. What are your thoughts? Is this something you can use in your next training session? Let me know. I'd love to hear your comments, see your comments, and I appreciate your time, and have a fantastic day.